This one's from Anonymous, didn't have a name.
Yep.
But they said, what's the difference between cover 3 match, and cover 3 sky?
So the important thing to note about cover 3 match, guys, is this is the Seattle Seahawks cover 3 style defense. And although it's showing you zone coverage, what ends up happening is if you are facing a balanced offensive formation, that means that you have equal distribution of receivers on both sides of the field. So in this instance, we're in gun doubles. You can see there's 2 receivers left. There's 2 receivers right with a tight end and a wide receiver on the far right, and then a halfback in the backfield. They don't really count that.
Yep.
So this would be a balanced formation. You can also think gun spread. But again, anytime you have equal number of receivers on the same side of the field, if you split the field down the middle, that's when cover 3 match ends up actually playing man-to-man coverage against the closest offensive threat. So for example, show the play art.
Okay.
The nickel corner. Okay, go to the nickel corner. Claiborne, he's actually going to play man-to-man against Thomas. Macklin, he's going to play man-to-man against, his car is going to play man-to-man against Macklin. Now, this is really advantageous when you're playing a set that's balanced because it's really difficult for offensive players to flood the field when it comes to this type of route distribution because it takes so long for a route on the right side of the field to get all the way over the left to then flood it with 3 receivers and take advantage of the defense. Right. So what ends up happening is you come out in cover 3 match. You need to read your opponent's formation.
Yep.
Are they in a balanced formation? Oh, okay, they are? Then I'm going to stay in cover 3 match. Okay? Here's the caveat. All right? If your opponent comes out in a trips, a bunch, any type of unbalanced offensive formation where you have unequal distribution of receivers on either side of the field, so in this instance we're going to come out in gun wide trips weak, then the recommendation is to come out and now you're in cover 3 match. You are now in a bad situation where you now have the slot corner, the nickel back cover, the halfback out of the backfield. You get a bad matchup on the right side. You don't have enough defenders over there. So you actually want to audible to cover 3 Mabel, which is in your playbook, built-in, designed as a quick audible.
It'll auto flip if you have auto flip on, but
Correct.
if you don't, you want to flip it so that the 3 zones on the right go to the trip side.
Yep. So when you have the 3 zones on the right, what ends up happening is that helps you flood the right side of the field. So if they run a flood concept like a corner, a flat, or a streak, what ends up happening is you're able then now to be able to defend all that goodness that's happening on the field. So I'm just throwing the ball away there. But this is a really fun way to play defense in Madden 17. It allows you to have kind of all the same joy that you get out of playing and blitzing, sending like blitzing defenders after the quarterback. It makes you feel like you're doing a lot of adjustments because you're reading the formations and you're audibling based on what you're seeing. But this is one of the best ways to play lockdown coverage in the game. Farles, give me a quick recap of what I just said.
You go into a play like nickel normal. You've got a regular cover 3.
Yep.
You've got a cover 3 sky.
Yep.
And now you even have more cover 3s. Cover 3 match, cover 3 Mabel.
Yep.
I think the most important thing for you to remember at all times about cover 3, whether it's buzz press, cover 3 means you will always, always have 3 deep zones.
Always.
Come out in cover 3 or you come out in cover 3 match, there is a big difference. If you come out in cover 3 match, you want to do it against balanced sets with receivers spread on equally on either side of the field so that your defenders will read the concept and play man-to-man similar to what the Seahawks do. If not, you want to go to a different cover 3, like a cover 3 Mabel, or add some different zones that will help defend to the strength of the formation, and your defenders won't necessarily play man-to-man, but they'll drop different spots where they'll be in better position against those formations. That's why auto flip's important. It's not just in the run game, but it actually helps in some passing sets too. So it's something to consider if you're a beginner player, or if you're not sending pressure on every play. And you saw it right there with Sean Lee coming across the formation. He actually matched on the 3 because the tight end would be the 3.
Right.
So Lee will match when he gets there, and he did last play. But you missed it, guys. If you missed what happened here, so basically here's how you'll know if a route will match. You have the number 1 receivers on the outside right, number 2 and number 3. You always count inside to outside. Kelsey is the number 3. He matches up. Sean Lee matches up with him. And right here, if you're used to relying on 4 verticals as your big time play, well, you don't want to throw it right here because Sean Lee matches up, and even though he's in a hook zone, he ends up going into man and following Kelsey, and that can be a time when you throw the exact pick on one of your go-to plays. So cover 4 verticals is not kind of that money route. And an easy way I like to think of it is like if you have plays where cover 3 is easily beatable, like a flood, if you all of a sudden then go to cover 3 match,
Tough.
it makes those exact plays that are good bad.
Not good.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now you got to kind of mix and match.
Yeah, I would say that doing this, if you're going to play and commit to this style of defense, I think it's best to have auto flip on because it's going to appropriately set you up against the right trips alignment. So I would recommend having auto defensive flip on for that. If you're going to be a high pressure blitz guy, I would recommend turning off auto flip.
Yes. So I would say 80% of people should probably use auto flip.
Yeah.
And the 20%, the 20% of you that should probably not use it are kind of watching this show for the most part.